Hu-ah-woo, hey-ah-yo-way, ah-yo-him. Hu-ah-woo, hey-ah-yo, ha-woo. Welcome to a Sound Shamaness Story, Reaching for the Goddess. Long ago, in the village of the Anazi, the cliff dwellers, there was a healer who was renowned in her village for the work that she did, both with her hand magic and with her voice. She moved energy with her voice. And many amongst the villagers knew that it was her connection to the goddess that would move through her as she sang and worked her healing hands over someone's body. Now, it happened to be at this time that a illness spread through the village. It came suddenly. And many people were left weak and dying. She was a renowned healer, but in the face of this illness, she was struck with uncertainty, doubt, and fear. All she could do is go from dwelling to dwelling, helping to reassure those that weren't ill yet, who were tending to the ones that were. There was an old man who had a soft spot in her heart. He was a kind man who helped others who were often in need. He would gather food. He would be an ear to listen to. He had been stricken by the illness only a few days prior, and she had been visiting him as often as she could. But on this day when she came, it was hard not to feel the tears welling up in her heart and in her eyes. She breathed into it as best as she could. She connected with the goddess as best as she could. And she began to sing. Hey, hey, ah-yo, hey, hey, ah-yo, hey, hey, ah-yo, ha-oo, 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 hey, ah-yo. The fever pressed on, and so did her singing. She sang long into the night. And when she was done, he seemed to be more peaceful. But yet, the fever pressed on, and he wasn't recovering, not the way she would have liked. She left his dwelling, and on a moonlit night, she sat on the edge of a cliff and shook in fear and shook with terror, feeling so incapable of helping. She began to weep. And when all the feelings, including the rage at her helplessness, expressed, she knew what she must do. She began the long walk with solitude in the dark of the night towards the cave of the goddess. It was the place where the shamans went. It was the place that she now went when she needed to lean and gain strength. each step. She felt the heaviness start to fall with each step. She felt a sense of hope, knowing that the closer she got to the cave, the closer she was to leaning into the love and the blue light of the goddess. On the way to the cave, she noticed a blue stone. She picked it up, held it to her heart, held it to her brow, and allowed it to accompany her the rest of the way. Just at the crack of dawn, she saw the cave entrance. She said a prayer, more in song than words. Ooh, hey, ooh, hey, hey, how, how, She placed the blue stone at the entrance of the cave and entered. Inside, it was dark. She could smell the damp, rich earth. She picked some up in her hands and breathed it in. She placed the palm of her hands on the earth and called to the goddess. Goddess, our people are in a time of need, and I want to respond. But I have this fear, I have this terror, I have this anger and other emotions, and I want to help my people. I give these feelings to you, and I ask for your love, to lean into your love at this time so that I can find my way and be of service. And then she let go and began to sing. I'm away, As she finished, the blue light of the goddess completely enveloped her. It was as though it was a pillar of light. She saw her face, and she leaned into that light and into that love, into her love, for her villagers, for all existence. She let herself be held and nurtured and filled with the knowing of the healing on the other side. the gifts and treasures that awaited her and the villagers on the other side of this illness. She breathed in the love and light of the goddess, filling herself full. And when she opened her eyes, there in front of her was the blue stone. And near the blue stone was a blue skull. She knew that these blue stones held the love and the light of the goddess. She thanked God, Goddess, all that is. She took the stones, held them close to her heart, and walked back to her village. From that day on, as she entered each of the dwellings, she made sure that she used the blue stones in her healing work. She would place the blue skull to her brow before she began to sing, before she began to let her hands dance intuitively with healing energy. And in the days and weeks to come, the illness seemed to disappear as mysteriously as it came. There were others that came to help with medicines of their nature. And she knew in her heart that surrendering to the goddess had helped bring the healing and resolve. She made a commitment that from that day forward, she would visit the cave of the goddess and surrender her worries and doubts and fears more often, leaning into that love and allowing the goddess to guide her. And that is the end of the story. Sa-jen. Hey, hey, ayo, way. Ayo, him. Thank you for listening.